What is up, everybody? Okay, want to clarify first, I'm still dealing with a little bit of the voice thing, but got my ginger ale, not a sponsor, wish it was, all that good stuff. But anyway, welcome back to the channel, so great to see you again. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Viola, I'm the host of the Cerebral System here on Transcended. On this channel we talk about DID content, mental health content, LGBT stuff, we do vlogs, gaming, spoken word, all kinds of different stuff. We do a lot of things here. Anyway, today's topic is a very sensitive one. So I'm going to put a trigger warning right now to say that if you don't deal well with the topic that I'm going to address, or, you know, you've had this experience or something, please click off now. Or, you know, we do have a lot of other content you can watch that's a little bit safer. Obviously, we have videos about, like, you know, inner worlds and stuff. But if you're interested, stay with us, because it's going to be a very interesting thing to talk about, and very helpful information. So today's topic is gaslighting. So, let's start with the basic stuff. What is gaslighting? Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or group covertly sows seeds of doubt in a targeted individual, making them question their own memory, perception, or judgment, often evoking in them cognitive dissonance and other changes such as low self-esteem. Using denial, misdirection, contradiction, and misinformation, gaslighting involves attempts to destabilize the victim and delegitimize the victim's beliefs. Instances may range from the denial by an abuser that previous abusive incidents ever occurred, to the staging bizarre events by the abuser with the intention of disorienting the victim. For characteristics, gaslighting involves a person or a group of people, the victimizer, and a second person, being the victim. It can either be conscious or unconscious and is carried out covertly, such that the resulting emotional abuse is not overtly abusive. Gaslighting depends on first convincing the victim that his thinking is distorted, and secondly, persuading him that the victimizer's ideas are the correct and true ones. Gaslighting induces cognitive dissonance in the victim, often quite emotionally charged cognitive dissonance. It makes the victim question their own thinking, perception, and reality testing, and thereby tends to evoke in them low self-esteem and disturbing ideas and effects. It may facilitate development of confusion, anxiety, depression, and in some cases, even psychosis. After the victim loses confidence in their mental capabilities and develop a sense of learned helplessness, they become more susceptible to the victimizer's control. Victims tend to be people with less power and authority, such as someone who's a child, a grandchild, a student of a teacher. You know, minorities, people who, you know, who don't have as much power. The role of either victimizer or victim can oscillate within a given relationship, and often each of the participants is convinced that they are the victim. When a group of people acts as a victimizer, gaslighting does its damage through the group members' small, often visible actions that have power through their accumulation and reinforcement. Gaslighting has been used by individuals and groups for attaining interpersonal and social control over the psychic functioning of individuals and groups. The illusionary truth effect, a phenomenon in which a listener comes to believe something that primarily because it has been repeated so often, may occur to a victim during gaslighting. So, I personally have been a victim of this. I'm not going to state who, for, you know, a variety of different reasons. However, I have been gaslit before. It's not a fun time. It essentially makes you feel helpless. It makes you feel confused. You're hurt. You feel like, you know, they're just trying to have... You do feel like they're trying to have a go at you. Like, they're trying to really, you know, nitpick. They're trying to really get under your skin in every turn. And it makes you angry. It makes you frustrated. You may lash out back because you're frustrated. I know I do. But usually, you become afraid. You feel very, like, hurt by this sort of thing based on my experiences. I don't know how anyone else would feel, but to me, it's almost always been anger, confusion, frustration, fear, And, ultimately, like, I want to punch something because I'm so frustrated feeling like, I'm being attacked for something. Now, I'm going to give you 11 warning signs of gaslighting. So, let's see here. Number 1, they tell blatant lies. You know it's an outright lie. If they're trying to tell you this to your face with a straight, tell you this to you with a straight face. Sorry, I'm a little going off my words here. Why are they so blatant? Because they're setting up a precedent. Once they tell you a huge lie, you're not sure if anything they say is true. Keeping you unsteady and off kilter is the goal. Number 2, they deny they ever said something even if you have proof. You know they said they would do something. You know you heard it, but they out and out deny it. It makes you start questioning your reality. Maybe they never said that thing, and the more they do this, the more you question your reality and start accepting theirs. They use what is near and dear to you as ammunition. They know how important your kids are to you, and they know how important your identity is to you. So those may be one of the first things they attack. If you have kids, which I don't, so this doesn't really apply to me, they tell you that you should not have had those children. They'll tell you you'd be a worthy person if only you didn't have a long list of negative traits. They attack the foundation of your being. Wait, where's... that was 3. Number 4, they weigh you down over time. This is one of the insidious things about gaslighting. It's done gradually, over time. A lie here, a lie there, a snide comment every so often, and then it starts ramping up. Even the brightest, most self-aware people can be sucked into gaslighting. It is that effective. It's the frog in the frying pan analogy. The heat is turned up slightly, so the frog never realizes what's happening to it. Number 5, their actions do not match their words. When dealing with a person or entity that gaslights, look at what they're doing rather than what they're saying. What they're saying means nothing. It is just talk. What they are doing is the issue. Number 6, they throw in positive reinforcement to confuse you. This person or entity that is cutting you down, telling you that you don't have value, is now praising you for something you did. This is an additional sense of uneasiness. Sorry. You think, well, maybe they aren't so bad. Yeah, they are. This is a calculated attempt to keep you off kilter, and again, to question your reality. Also, look at what you were praised for. It's probably something that served them. Like doing dishes. Number 7, they know confusion weakens people. Gaslighters know that people like having a sense of stability and normalcy. Their goal is to uproot this and make you constantly question everything. And humans' natural tendency is to look to the person or entity that will help you feel more stable, and that happens to be the gaslighter. Number 8, they project. They are a drug user or a cheater, yet they are constantly accusing you of that. This is done so often that you start trying to defend yourself and are distracted from the gaslighter's own behavior. In my experience, this has always been about yelling. Even when I'm not, actually yelling about anything, they'll be like, you are yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm not. Even when I'm not actually yelling, they'll keep pushing until I do. Number 9, they try to align people against you. Gaslighters are masters at manipulating and find the people they know will stand by them no matter what, and they use these people against you. They'll make comments such as, this person knows that you're not right, and this person knows you're useless too. Keep in mind, it does not mean these people actually said these things. A gaslighter is a constant liar. When the gaslighter uses this tactic, it makes you feel like you don't know who to trust or turn to, and that leads you right back to that gaslighter. And that's exactly what they want. Isolation gives them more control. Number 10, they tell you or others that you're crazy. This is one of the most effective tools of a gaslighter because it's dismissive. The gaslighter knows if they question your sanity, people will not believe you when you tell them the gaslighter is abusive or out of control. It's a master technique they use. Number 11, they tell you everyone else is a liar. By telling you that everyone else, your family, the media, is a liar, it again makes you question your reality. You've never known someone with the audacity to do this, so they must be telling the truth, right? No. It's a manipulation technique. It makes people turn to the gaslighter for the correct information, air quotes, which isn't correct information at all. The more you're aware of these techniques, the quicker you can identify them and avoid falling into their trap. Honestly, gaslighting is so common, and it is such a dangerous thing to deal with, no matter who you are. No matter what age you are, no matter what your relationship with the person is, family, relationship, friends, you know, a school teacher, a doctor, or a police officer, whatever, you know, it is a manipulation technique that, you know, most people don't know how to catch. Most people don't understand, like, how to see that someone's doing this, and it makes people suffer because they don't know that it's happening. That confusion that was mentioned so often is real, and it's something that does happen so often to so many people and isn't talked about enough. Like, honestly, I've tried to find, you know, a lot of sources talking about this, and usually I don't find too many. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place. But if you realize you're being gaslit by someone, you know, and you have somebody that, you know, you can talk to about it, that knows that this person is lying or whatever, or someone you can trust, and they know you're not gonna lie about this, you know, tell somebody. Get help. If you're in therapy, tell a therapist about what's happening, because they will believe you. You know, let someone know who you can confide in. You know, and I'm not, like, suited to, like, explain every situation, because obviously I've never been in a situation where I've had to constantly go around trying to convince people, like, this is what this person's doing. But it does happen, you know, and it's, sorry, my throat's still kind of, 1 second. I'm gonna take a little drink of this real quick. Let's cut out my throat a little bit. What was I thinking? What's he doing? Oh. It's a complicated situation, but do your best to get help, and just know you don't have to suffer through this alone. There's plenty of people online who can give you better advice than I can on this, because I still deal with it. But honestly, knowing the signs and knowing how it works, how they try to manipulate you, is a good step forward. And this information needs to be shared around. There are plenty of articles on Google that, and, you know, when I mentioned I couldn't find a lot of info, I was talking about, like, people's personal experiences. Like, I generally was looking in the wrong place, but at least that's what I believe. But honestly, Google is your friend. If you need to know the steps, or, you know, just look it up, or, you know, if you got them from this video, great. I'm happy that I was able to help a little bit. Sorry for my rambling. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Grateful for you stopping by. Always do. If you like what we do here, like, comment, subscribe, all that good kind of stuff. It really helps out a lot, especially with this algorithm. It is a mess. And as always, you're beautiful, you're valid, and you're important. You're very, very, very important to me and everyone up here. And I will see you in the next video that we make. So until then, goodbye.